I want to make this view really pretty. Right now when we walk out of our house, immediately we see this ravine, we see that ugly spruce tree just in the middle of a field, and we see this very messed up mountain thing. So the first thing I'm gonna do this episode is clean this area up. Now if you don't remember, in the first episode, I expressed that I do not like this floating rock here. So I'm going to get rid of this and all of the other ones, and then we're going to take a step back and see what we think about this area. Goodbye, little piggy. Have a nice ravine life down there. So I removed the floating rock there and a bunch of other floating things, and it's definitely making it look a lot better. This kind of annoys me, but not enough for me to bother with that. I've also covered up this ravine, but I will have to make an entrance into it because I'm still very early game and I need the resources. But I want to put stuff in this area. I mentioned before that I want a forest kind of surrounding this house. And so I think today I'm going to get a start on that. Then I also think I might want to put like a smeltery out here and then an entrance down into the ravine. And we can have like this little pathway going through, and then we can have a bridge to the other side. But that's future stuff. I think first things first, I want to figure out the placements for the structures. So I'm just going to mark this out with the pale moss here. But I'm thinking like around here's the smelting area. Maybe we can extend it off into here. This is going to be kind of like a tent-ish thing. So this right here was the entrance I have been using for the mine, but I feel like it's a little bit too close to that. I want them to be like a slight walk away from each other, but not too far away. So maybe like over here is where the mine entrance could be. And then there's going to be trees on either side and you can like walk through the forest. Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. So with all that being said, the first thing I'd like to start on is the smeltery. Now I already have a plan in mind, and that's why I have all of these resources. But guys, I think it's time we do a little bit of building. Gosh, what was that? So you guys know what TikTok is, right? Well, I have a really weird habit with TikTok, and I need to know if anyone else does this. So there's two videos I'm absolutely obsessed with on TikTok. Number one is this cat. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, I can't with this cat. And number two is this edit somebody made of me. Call me self-centered, I don't care. I'm obsessed with this edit. Go check out Asher on TikTok. He will be linked below. He makes such good edits. Yeah, so it's kind of become part of my routine. Every day I wake up and I go to TikTok and I watch these two videos, and that's it. I'm obsessed with them to that level, and I need to know if anyone else does this. But anyways, back to Minecraft. The one important thing I want to do with this forest is I want to create a little window between the trees to look out over that side of the river. I mentioned at the start of the episode that I want there to be a view, and that's what I want that to be. But then I don't want to see like all of this. I just want a tiny little window. But with that being said, we have a little start on it. We got our little outdoor smelter set up here. Got this big industrial furnace, and we have our first tree. So this tree is going to be a lot shorter than most of the trees in this forest. I mentioned last episode that this is a very tall house, and so to kind of shrink the scale, I want the trees to be either on the same level or taller than it. But I really like this tree design. I've put in some of the pale oak along with acacia and some brown. This is supposed to be like chipped bark, so like you can see the inside. I also really like using the pale wood here. However, there's very limited warm grays in Minecraft, and so it's a bit hard to work with. Like if I want any stairs and slabs of this dark color, usually I'd have to do deep slate, but deep slate is a very cool gray compared to this, and so it's a little bit difficult to work with. So I might end up chasing that out just for ease. But yeah, I have this little cloth thing. It has a little dip in the middle. I'm considering maybe putting a little bit of water in here, as like if it rains, it gets caught in here. But I feel like that might just not look as good as I want it to. But yeah, we have a little workshop out here. It is very out in the open as of now, but the idea is that this is going to be engulfed in forest, and so it'll be a lot more closed in and claustrophobic. Now I've been thinking about the placement of this over here. This is going to be our mine entrance, and I feel like it's too close. I want to use some tricks to make this forest seem bigger than it actually is. And I think I've mentioned this before, but I want the walk to this thing from there to feel long, but not actually be long. And so I'm going to move it out here. And the idea is that I'm going to make a very windy path. And that way you walk through more forest getting here, but it's actually not that far away as we don't really have a lot of space to work with. And while we're in the forest, it'll just make it feel a lot more grand and bigger. Now, with that being said, there's one thing I want to work on right now. And that's getting rid of this bookshelf. I really like this bookshelf actually, but I've had an idea. We're gonna break this out, and if we break this out, we have a nice little exit from our basement to this outside workshop. And so this can allow me to access any resources out here easily while I'm in the basement. And it allows me to access my basement a lot easier than going through the front door and walking down the stairs, which honestly, this isn't too bad. But the main thing is having easy access to this. Alright, after quite some fiddling, I think I've managed to pull off something I'm proud of. I'm not the happiest in the world about it. I like the little cubby going on here. Got our bookshelf back in here, some extra storage, and then this stays relatively the same. I miss this bookshelf. I liked it a lot better than the store here. I don't like how bulky this is, but I need these here to cover up what's going on in there. But I think it works. I'm having doubts. Yeah, I tried fiddling with it again and it didn't work out well, so I guess we're sticking with this for now. If any of you guys have any suggestions for this, let me know, as I just don't like how bulky this is. I like the slim little bookshelf, and I also really liked how the chiseled bookshelves had that darkness to them, and so it added a layer of depth, which these doors kind of take away from. But I think it is really nice to have the little access to the smeltery. And it makes sense. But I think it's time to move on to actually figuring out this forest. Alright, so I've run into a little bit of an impasse in my brain. So I've decided that the best way to start on this forest is to mark out all the paths just so I know where not to place trees. And as I've mentioned multiple times, that I want this path to be windy, just to make the walk from there to here feel a bit longer. I'm realizing this is going to be a little bit difficult to explain without visualizing it. Okay, I've made a visualization, but I'm realizing this makes very little sense. Okay, if I go into free cam, it's a little bit better. So essentially this chorister is marking out the path, and the red part is kind of marking out where the trees meet the path, I guess. Right, so I think this makes it clear what I'm trying to get at. This rooted dirt stuff is meant to be the trees, and there's makeshift branches here to kind of frame out this view. However, my issue is that these aren't the only trees in the forest, and so when I want trees like here and here, if they are about the same height as these ones, they're gonna block the view. And that's an issue. Now, I have a couple of ideas on how to deal with this. My main one being put a big boulder in this space, or a fallen tree, because it's really only this area that needs to not have any trees in it. So I think it should be doable, but we will see. I have changed my mind. I actually hate this. As I mentioned before, I really dislike how bulky this is. I don't like how the depth goes away with these doors, as well as with the nature of these being doors. They actually let light through, and it ruins the lighting down here. So I'm going to bring the bookshelf back, and I thought of a better solution for this, which I will install while we're building the forest. Now, building a forest in Minecraft is a pretty big task, so I'm going to need a lot of inspiration. But luckily for you guys, I have the secret of inspiration. Now, don't tell anyone, but the secret is...
To obtain the knowledge you require, you must follow to human desire. Go to where you won't be seen and find a beautiful world of green.
The secret is going outside. As artists, references are some of, if not the best tools to help us create. And I strongly believe that going out and observing things in the real world is the best reference. Doing so truly allows you to understand what things look like, as seeing something through the screen can't capture the beauty that is the real world we live in. Even the footage that I'm showing you will never be able to capture the vibrancy and elegance of that forest that I saw with my own eyes. I tried to edit it to capture that essence, but it isn't the same. Also, side tangent, but cameras do not do our world justice. You'll hear people saying things along the lines of, "The world isn't as vibrant as it was when I was younger." But I don't think it actually looks different at all. I believe it is the cameras. Look at this image that I'm showing you. It's edited the best I can to make it look similar to how I actually saw it. Now look at the raw picture. Notice how desaturated and gray it looks? Perhaps there's a more psychological and sciencey reason as to why people have this perception of our world, but I would like you to keep this idea in mind, and I encourage you to step outside and appreciate the colors and vibrance of our world. Anyways, let's go back to Minecraft and build that forest. Oh my gosh. I have so much to talk about right now, but we have a forest and it's here and it's taken me so long. I'm going to need you guys to be prepared because I have a lot of things to say, as this whole thing was a lot. So this forest has taken me so long to design, to build. It's pretty big. All things considered. But I mean, it is here and I'm kind of loving it. This forest was built to be immersive, and so all of the focus really went to all the small details around. Like over there we have a little mushroom ring. We've got rocks, bushes, shrubs, trees everywhere. We have dead trees over there, but I'm going quite literally off track. Let's just walk through this forest and talk about it. So this forest is definitely the biggest project I've ever done for one video, but I couldn't be more happy with it. Also, this right here is our mine entrance. It doesn't have an interior yet, but that's for future wind. But like all these little details I'm absolutely in love with. Like this minecart, just it being on a diagonal makes it so much more fun, especially in a game where diagonals don't really exist. Also, I really like how it's nestled into all the shrubs, and it kind of looks like the shrubs are growing on it and out of it. Honestly, this one minecart might be my favorite thing in this whole forest. But yeah, you might notice it looks a little bit empty over here, as I want to do the shore or the riverbank differently, or I guess separately to the forest, and dedicate its own thing to that. What? Why is... Anyways. But yeah, there's so many little details that I'm absolutely obsessed with. Speaking of obsessions, leaf litter, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like just the way it is like on the rocks and it's all over the place, and the way it works podzol into everything so well. Also the firefly bushes, just adding the little bit of animation, it's so cool. All of the new stuff in the 1.21.5 update is amazing. Like look at that, the little wildflower just peeking in there. A little pop of color. I love them. Also, I don't think I mentioned, but I did update the world to 1.21.5. If that wasn't clear. This table I've actually grown to dislike a lot. Expect to see this changed. I'm very much rambling There's no really structure to me doing this, which I probably should have done. But I spoke about having a better way out that wasn't through the bookshelf. And this is that. So I have a bunch of like scaffolding that has been repurposed into like a storage kind of area. I want to get more like just scrap armor. Like if I find leather or gold armor around in chests and stuff, I'll throw it onto these just for the look. But yeah, it definitely helps with this wall because I've noticed it was pretty flat. So I quite like it a lot. And I mean, I'm just absolutely in love with this forest. It feels so immersive. I love the focus on all the tiny little details. But yeah, I think we have succeeded with what I wanted to do with this forest, and that is to frame this view. I think it does it nicely, sort of organically, but the view still isn't done. I mean, there's not really much out here. I have plans for that area, but that's gonna come in a future episode. For now though, this forest isn't quite done yet. I want to go and get some animals to kind of reside in the forest, just for a little bit more just for a little bit more animation throughout the forest. Other than the fireflies. Also, this is the resources that I need to clean up. But that's for later wind. Also, I set up a little bee thing as I needed a good amount of candles, and this is very cute. I do want to build a proper bee area. It's very temporary, but I just wanted to show it off. That is cute. We have quite a few leads here, so this is going to be helpful. Also, one thing that I still couldn't avoid was the light seeping through, like all this skylight from the door is definitely affecting the vibe in here, but I don't think there was really any way around that if I wanted to put a door in here. But at least it's in this corner and it's less intrusive, so it's better than what I had before, in my opinion. Alright, so I have 4 animals in particular that I would like to obtain for the forest. So let's go ahead and hunt them down. Folks, I have created a problem. So, it turns out I can actually parkour onto the trees, and I can't stop doing it. Yeah, so I can get like all the way to the top of the trees. And so this is where I exist now. This is where I spend my time. But you may have noticed from that montage that the only animal missing were the fox. Whee! But I wanted to tame the fox properly on camera because I think they're so cool. I just read up on the wiki about how foxes work and how do you get them to trust you and all that. And they are so much cooler than I thought they were. Hey, so it's me, the person who edits the video. Fun fact, my name is also the Windsword. But anyways, I wanted to talk about in the video all the cool things I learned about the foxes, and then I kind of just entirely forgot. But I still just want to show you guys the Minecraft wiki on foxes because there's some cool things that I never knew. Right, so here's the trust part on the fox wiki. And so once you have a trusted fox, one of the main things I didn't know was that if you have a link with the fox, aka if the fox trusts you, then 1, it won't run from you, and 2, it won't actually attack other mobs like rabbits and chickens. And another thing I learned is that foxes will attack players who damage the player they trust. I didn't know that. That's so cool. I think somewhere in here it also says, yeah, here it is. Okay, the foxes attack specific mobs that hurt the player. So they're like wolves, and that they fight mobs and players who damage you, but it's not an actual taming thing. That's so cool to me. Foxes might be one of my new favorite Minecraft mobs. Anyways, back to the actual video. So it turns out that the closest taiga isn't very close, but it's not a horrible distance away. So we just have to hope that it actually has a fox in it. I just got here. How are there pillagers? How is that even possible? Don't you have to like stay in an area for a while? Okay, well, I'm just hoping we can avoid them because I'm in absolutely no position to fight. But the taiga should, yep, right here. So now we just need to find 2 foxes and breed them. They should be fairly easy to spot given their bright orange. There's a fox. I see a fox. Okay, I want to put it in the boat. I think that's the first order of business. No! Did it just take damage? Oh, wait. Wait. Wait, don't run away with my boat. What the heck? Get back here. Give me my boat back. How do you have a whole boat in your mouth? Well, how do I have a whole boat in my pocket? Either way, get back here. I have berries. Don't look at me like that. I think if we just drop this in its mouth, my boat. Perhaps if I get it on a lead instead, it just sit there and vibe. Yes. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Now we just need to find another one. Okay, now we need to find another fox. Whoa, there's the cold chicken. Oh, look at the little tuft of hair. So cool. Okay, I fear there might not be another fox in this forest. All right, I'm gonna have this fox just sit here. That way I can run around and see if I can find another one a lot easier. Oh, there is a fox here. No, never mind. It was a freaking cow. Oh my gosh. That was very mean of you. Don't walk away from me. What the heck? I'm leaving. I'm leaving in shame. Okay, we did see the taiga over here. Okay, I've been around searching for so long. I've checked multiple taigas on multiple islands everywhere, and I can't find a single other fox. So I think the best course of action is to go and get the fox I already have, and then go to a much bigger taiga and hope that there's a different fox there. All right, Foxy, off we go. Right, surely this island is the one. Surely there has to be a fox in here. I think I just heard one. Yeah. Oh, there's so many. Okay, that's fine. We only need one. Okay. Simple as that. Okay. So I think all it is you just feed them the berries. Yeah. And you kidnap the child. That is not a joke. That is actually what you have to do. Nice. And then you guys can go have fun. Okay. This guy stole my lead. That's fine. That's fine. I did just steal his child, but you know, I would have liked to have my lead. Ah, yes, Minecraft, the game where if you steal a child, they'll develop Stockholm Syndrome and you'll have a friend. We're home. Yippee. Oh, the lead broke again. Yippee. Oh my gosh. Wait. So, okay, I guess that wasn't very clear. The horse, I just did a jump with the horse and then the boat like came underneath it. And I think the horse just bounced off of the boat and did a double jump. That is so cool. Oh my gosh. I guess you can totally do double jumps with skill. I did it accidentally, but you know, I mean, I meant to do that. Okay, so we have to be a little bit careful with this fox, as I think wild wolves still eat trusted foxes. And speaking of wild wolves, I guess I should give you guys the rundown on how I'm going to work everything. So I have my parrots over here, which are all tamed, and then I have the rabbits and the trusted fox. I'm pretty sure the trusted fox won't eat the rabbits, but just for safe measures, I'm going to keep them away from the rabbits. Now, I also have a bunch of dogs here, 3 of which are tamed and 3 of which are wild, just because I want to have some of them to be standing up and not teleport to me. So I'm going to have to keep those wild ones away from the fox. But other than that, we should be good to just dot them around the forest. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to just take them on leads, put a fence in the ground, attach the leads to the fence, and so they'll just stay in one little area. I don't know why I'm taking this rabbit with me. I guess you'll be the first person we place. Okay. I was putting the trusted fox in a place, but it decided to sleep. Aww. It's so cute. Wait. Aw. Don't go that way. Come here. Oh, you woke up. I'm sorry. Aw, there you go. Aw. I don't think these guys will run. I think they'll just stay in the same spot. I want to put it like near the log, but for now I think you can just chill under this tree. Aw, little baby. It's so cute. Okay, so there's one trick I'm going to use, and hopefully this works out. But I'm going to get some brown dye, and I'm going to dye the collars of all the tamed wolves. I mean, it doesn't really... I mean, okay. It's not, like, noticeable at first. Just to hide the tamed part of them a little bit better, so that way it looks more like a wild pack of wolves. It grew up! It's so cute! Oh, I love this fox so much. I need to name it and stuff. Like, that is adorable. Look at the cutie. Aw, look at how cute it is. I did end up tying it into the tree stump because I did see it like wandering off. I think it just stays in a general location, but I'm not too sure about that. And I wouldn't want it wandering over to the wolves. So it's just chilling here. It's so cute. I love it so much. But yeah, we have all of the animals situated. I do want to get more rabbits in here. As of now, we only have 2. We have one over here. We have one over here. We also have a whole pack of wolves over here. It turns out that wolves also eat rabbits. So I had the rabbit over here originally, and the wolves were getting angry. But we're all good now. We have a whole pack of wolves claiming this rock is their territory, I guess. But that's pretty much all the animals we're gonna do today. I might add some more rabbits in here in the future, but for now we're gonna leave it as is. But before we end today's episode, I know it's been a pretty long one, but as you can see in my hotbar, I have a name tag, which I got from a mine shaft while I was collecting resources for this forest. So I think it's about time we go ahead and give our horse a name. I think last episode I said I wanted to name it Sunny, short for sunflower, but I've actually decided that I like Sunday better, because I tamed this horse on a Sunday in a sunflower plains. I think it's just the perfect name for it. So Sunday. Yippee! I gotta sleep. The forest has little to no lighting at all. But yeah, I also have the parrots sitting on branches, and these parrots probably add the most, because like just as you're walking through, you'll hear like the parrot noises, the whistles and all that. Oh, that looks so cute. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I can't get over that fox. But yeah, I'll hear like the whistles of the birds. And when I'm out here, I'll hear the barking of the dogs. Like the auditory part of this, I think adds a whole lot more compared to the visual. Not to say that the visuals aren't awesome, like the little birds. But I think that's about everything I want to cover in this episode. In the future, we will be building more forest because right now this is only part of it. But it's not going to be for a while. This took so much out of me. As well as this video has been unlike anything I've ever done before. I showed footage from the real world. I didn't even know that place existed. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it, because this has been like the biggest like creative investment towards a project I've ever done. So let me know what you think in the comments. Consider subscribing if you've enjoyed and if you've watched this far. But with that being said, that's all for today, everybody. I really do hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.